Take pictures.
So let me tell you, I went to school at Santa Clara University. This is the mission at Santa Clara University. And it's right in the middle of Silicon Valley, in San Jose, California. And as you can see, this is some of the companies that surround the college in the middle of Silicon Valley. So I don't know about you, but I asked myself, well, how did that happen? How did these companies come to be and Silicon Valley become known as this place where startups come to succeed? And really what it comes down to, with all I've learned, is there's a recipe that's involved. And it's really one part startups, and it's one part venture capital. And venture capital is a big part of it. When you look at some of the most successful companies like Intel, Apple, Genentech, Google, Facebook, they all started because they had access to venture capital. One way to look at venture capital is that it's smart money, right? These are people who have had some success entrepreneurially and want to spend their time helping other entrepreneurs succeed. So this smart money invests in startups. Some of the startups succeed, and that leads to wealth. And some of that wealth becomes smart money. And the cycle continues. And that's how you end up with a place like Silicon Valley. The other part, the other ingredient, startups, you have universities inside that ingredient, like Stanford, Berkeley. You have a great community and ecosystem. And you have great urban development. Now that urban development over the last 10 years since I left there has really evolved. Because all of these technology startups, a lot of them have been migrating into the city, into San Francisco. Companies like Pinterest, Zynga, Yelp, Square, Salesforce, and Twitter all have offices there in San Francisco because they find that the most talented people, the creatives, want to have access to amenities. They don't want to have to drive to work. They want to have a really tight ecosystem, which involves, to get there, a lot of urban development. Now, Orlando has a lot of these same ingredients that you need to create a great startup ecosystem. We've got some great investors in town. You've got Venvelo and Arsenal Venture Partners. Those two firms help actually coach some of the startups that you're going to see on stage tonight. Also UCF Angel Nexus and Idea Fund. All of these investors are part of the ecosystem. Not only that, but all of them are here tonight. We have some great universities, obviously. We've got UCF, Rollins Full Sail, all cranking out some really talented individuals. And we even have a lot of urban development going on. You've all seen the evolution downtown, how there's been more high-rises, more grocery stores with Publix down here, lots of development to make downtown a place to attract the kind of talent that they're seeing in San Francisco. And later on tonight, you're even going to be hearing from one of the people at the forefront of this urban development movement, Craig Usler. We're really lucky to have somebody in our community that cares so much about creating great urban development to keep the talent here and to create great startups. So, and that's, of course, his initiative with the Creative Village is a big part of that. So we'll be talking later tonight after the intermission. But what about the community? Well, when I came to Orlando about 8 years ago now, I started to get involved in the tech meetups. There was a bunch of tech meetups. I ended up going to the Java users group. I started the Ruby users group, but there was also .NET, Cold Fusion, a bunch of them.